Hello, you wonderful Life Path 2 person. Welcome to your 2026 numerology and tarot forecast with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, here, what we're going to do is explore the overview of how this universal year that is 2026 is going to affect your life path. Then, we're going to look at all of the different sectors of your life and how those are likely to be affected by this energy. And then, we're going to get into your 12-month tarot breakdown. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose, and this resonates, and you want to come back to this month by month, hit the subscribe button. So we're going to get straight into it. So this year, my wonderful Life Path 2 crew, this year, 2026 is about pushing you into great and new territory. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is going to feel a lot different to what you're used to. 2025 may have actually been a pretty decent year for you guys for the way that it unfolded. So this might be a little bit of a culture shock, but not in a bad way. It's just pushing you to new things, new experiences. You've spent a lifetime honing the arts of harmony and intuition and diplomacy and partnership. But the Universal 1 year, you're being asked to take the wheel in a much bolder way. You're being asked to really do something very different. This year is going to demand that you step out of the shadows and into your own light. This year, you're going to feel like you're being pushed into, like really being pushed to stop being or stop being the supporting act and really to claim your headlining role at the center stage. The truth is that many of you are so attuned to others that sometimes you forget how much fire and brilliance you have of your own. Well, 2026 is going to remind you of that in a big way. Yes, there will be moments of discomfort, right? The universal one energy paired with your natural energy as well as your life path, right, is going to create a little bit of a tug of war because between wanting to lead and also more importantly, wanting to support. The tension is exactly what is going to teach you how powerful, how powerful a collaborator you are without losing your own voice or being absorbed into other people. You don't have to bulldoze anyone, but you also need to stop shrinking. This year is about balancing bold action with that intuition that you have, strategy and sensitivity. The doors are opening, new chapters are beginning, and also the partnerships that you're going to attract this year are going to reflect clarity and strength, and the clarity and strength that you really bring to the table. In short, you're really being asked here, or called in a sense, actually, to rise, right? Not just to as a peacemaker or as a supporter, but as the pioneer who can bring balance and direction to a world that desperately needs it, whether that's your world, the world, or the career sector, which we're going to explore in a moment. Take the leap, back yourself, trust your natural gifts of listening, of insight. Listen to your empathy when it speaks, right? These things are going to make you an unstoppable force this year. And when you combine them with the courage to say, this is my time, just wait to see what happens. Okay, so let's have a look at these different sectors. When it comes to your career this year, your life path is infused with a powerful energy of go big or go home. And that means one thing: leveling up. No more hiding behind others. No more hiding or waiting for permission. 2026 is the year that you are going to claim your authority, that you're going to take up space, and you're going to start laying the foundations for long-term success. This doesn't have to mean loud, doesn't have to be aggressive, but remember, your natural 2 energy is about diplomacy and intuition. The magic in here, like with all of this, is blending that with the natural energy of command, right? So think of it like this: you're not just climbing the ladder, you're teaching others how to climb the ladder while you are proving that you belong at the top. All right, so you're kind of doing 2 things simultaneously, which kind of figures because you're at life path 2. There might be moments where you're asked to take on more responsibility this year, to step into a leadership role this year, to showcase your skills, especially ones that you've been sort of quietly mastering over the last 9, 10 years. Do not shy away from this. The opportunities that come are here to test to see if you have finally ready to really brilliantly shine out there in the world. So let's have a look at how this is going to affect all of the different areas of career. So for those of you that are employed by somebody else, if you're working for somebody else, expect opportunities for recognition, for promotion, for projects that really put you front and center. People are going to notice your quiet strength this year, and it's your job to let that attention turn into a momentum. Be willing to take on leadership roles, even if they feel daunting. And the way that the energy of your career is really trying to get you to realize that you could be great, right? Now, it's really wanting to reward you, but it's only going to do so if you're willing to stand tall and to claim that brilliance. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, you self-employed people, if you run your own business, this is the year for building an empire. Systems, structures, and strategies are going to make or break you. All right. Trust your intuition when it comes to clients and collaborations, but also make sure that this year you're setting really healthy boundaries and you operate with discipline. This is really a year for you to master your business in some way, shape, or form. This is where you run and own your business rather than being run ragged by it. Focus on elevating your brand this year, sharpening your skills, positioning yourself as the authority in your field. Big deals, big clients are absolutely possible for you this year, but only if you show up like you already deserve them. For those of you that are students, if you're studying in 2026, this is the year that you will have to prove yourself. This is asking you to take your studies really seriously and to use them as a foundation for the career and influence that you're going to build as you move forward. This might mean heavier workloads. It may mean that this is a year where your teachers are a lot harder on you or your lecturers push you even further. There might be higher expectations on the level of learning that you're doing or the depth of your knowledge. Meet this stuff head on. Your success this year will absolutely come from discipline and the willingness to stretch yourself beyond what you know and beyond what's comfortable, quite frankly. For those of you that are retired, this year, career might, obviously you guys are retired, so career might not mean 9 to 5 kind of stuff, but it does mean purpose. This is really asking you like to think about mentoring, volunteering in some way, shape, or form, or even consulting in areas where you already have experience. This is not a year for you to underestimate how much wisdom and authority that you already carry, and sharing what you know could absolutely inspire others, but also it could give you a greater or a renewed sense of what it means to achieve something. All right. So really find a way to step up this year because it will be worth it. For your love life, so this year, your love life is really carrying this joyful, self-expressive kind of energy. It's playful, it's emotional honesty as well, which is something that you guys crave and need. After the intensity of the 9 year that we've just had that's closed out, 2026 is absolutely going to be lighter. It's going to have a fresher energy. It's going to really bring a lot of fresh energy into your relationship sector as well. Now, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, this year is really bringing a playful spark back into the relationship. But only really if you allow your inner child to show up. Play adventures together, create new memories, go and, don't let life be all work and no play. This year, you really have to cultivate that energy of fun and pleasure and joy and creativity and romance into the relationship. On the flip side of this year will also highlight to you where communication has been a problem or it's been blocked within the relationship, and you'll be called to say what you really feel, not what you think your partner wants to hear. Your vulnerability this year is absolutely going to strengthen your bond, and when your partner shares something with you about something that they want, something that they need, somewhere that they want to go, pay attention, be a part of the adventure that they're trying to take you on. For those of you that are single, if you are single this year is buzzing with opportunities. The energy is really putting you in the spotlight. You're going to naturally attract more attention, more flirtation, more fun, more romance opportunities. The trick really here is just to not overthink it, right? Let yourself date, let yourself explore and experiment, let yourself jump into it. You don't have to lock down the one right away. But if love does show up for you, it will likely come through fun, social gatherings, social settings, or maybe even creative pursuits. If you've got a hobby of a creative nature, this could absolutely be an area that you discover or connect to a partner. Watch out for people that make you laugh, people that help you feel more like yourself, because that's where the magic is going to be for you this year. When it comes to your money this year, well, Life path two, your finances are directly tied to your creativity, your joy, and your self-expression this year. Money flows where your energy flows, right? And if you treat your finances as dull or restrictive, then they're gonna feel that way, right? If you treat them as a canvas or an opportunity-making source, then you're going to create something fresh and they will absolutely surprise you. This is not a year for staying hidden. It's the three energy is really asking you to speak up, share your ideas, and trust that your voice or your skills or even your talents are absolutely worth investing in, but more importantly, are worth other people investing in you with their money because of the talents and skills that you bring to the table. If you've been holding back and afraid to ask for a raise your prices or pitch yourself, then this year you need to stop that. This universal 1 year demands boldness. It demands that we do things differently. And the three energy, or not the three, and sorry, the one energy of this year is really asking you to back yourself with charisma and magnetism. And it's going to give you this kind of energy as well. So I will say to you, pay attention to where you feel like you're leaking money. Pay attention to how you are utilizing the resources that you have. And more importantly, anywhere that you can spend money for more pleasure, more joy, more creativity, or just more life. This is absolutely money well spent this year. For when it comes to your health, for you guys, when it comes to your health this year is really closely tied to your mood and your emotional well-being. So when you're expressing yourself, when you're laughing, when you're feeling lighthearted, your vitality is absolutely going to soar. But when you bottle things up or you neglect yourself or even in favor of other people, your energy is going to dip this year. So in terms of looking after your mental health and vitality, it's asking you to express what's inside you. Journaling, talking to friends, singing, therapy, all of these things can help keep your mental arena light and clear. Watch out for things like mental overstimulation, social burnout. When you feel it, when the social battery is dim, stay home, shut yourself away. Too much screen time or even gossip as well can drain you faster than you think. So keep that in mind. When it comes to your physical health and vitality this year, movement that is joyful and pleasurable is absolutely going to be your best friend. Dancing, group classes, aerobics, step aerobics, all of that stuff where you're waving your arms and you're having a good laugh and throwing shapes and stuff, walking with friends, hiking with friends, even playful social sports can absolutely enhance your physical health and vitality this year. Be careful with overindulging this year when it comes to food, drink, late nights, burning the candle at both ends. Watch out for this year because it could bring you some of that as well. This energy is it's really trying to bring you pleasure, and it can easily lead to sluggishness if it's unchecked, right? Hydration, rest, routines, all of these things need to be incorporated into what you're doing as you're enjoying yourself. When it comes to your spiritual health and vitality this year, creative expression is food for the soul, all right? The more you surround yourself with art and music and poetry, or simply just bring in more play and pleasure and enjoyment into your life. I hope you're getting these buzzwords that I'm dropping down, right? When your spirit feels stifled this year, your health will likely wobble. So pay attention to that. Don't underestimate how powerful fun, laughter, joy, and creativity can be, because they really, really can. There's a reason, like if you've been with me long enough, you will have seen me do this, right? Whenever I do a reading, if that reading's really heavy, I'll crack like a really random or inappropriate joke, because that laughter breaks the heaviness, right? This year is a whole year of that for you. This is a good year for you to learn how much your mood and your environment truly affect your health. With that said, we are going to get into your 12-month tarot breakdown. But before we do, I want to take a moment to tell you about the 2026 compass. We are heading into a universal one. I knew that this year we were going to have to do everything differently. So what I created was the 2026 compass. I am so excited about this, and delivering it is really, it feels like one of the reasons that I am here, because I understand that 2026 is going to be such a big year. Now, with that said, what is it? You're going to get a 12-month tarot reading, right? You literally, so like the 12 months that follows, you're going to get one of those, but specifically for you. On top of that, you get a printable PDF booklet. And in that, you're going to get not handwritten, but handwritten notes by me on your chart, based on your astrology chart, based on your numerology. As if that wasn't enough, the booklet has plenty of space for your notes, because you're also going to get a 3-hour session where we are going to sit down. We're going to use your tarot reading for the 12 months. We're going to use your stars. We're going to use your numbers. We're going to plan your year meticulously. As if all of that wasn't enough, you also get a complimentary seat on this year's winter solstice alignment session, so you can get that energy aligned as well, so that you can walk into the new year absolutely ready. Now, there is a 2-part payment plan. You pay half on sign up, the other half in November. Your one-to-one session is with me in December, so you've got plenty of time to formulate your questions, to think about what you want, what plans you're going to go after. And then when we have that 3-hour session, that's where all the magic starts to happen. So you're paid up by the time December comes. By the time January comes, you're walking into 2026 with a personally built strategy. Can't say any fairer than that. There are only 30 spaces. The reason for that is I know that that's the amount of people I'm going to be able to serve. Think about how much time, effort, and energy is going into just one of you. So there's only 30 spaces on this. If you don't want to be disappointed, my advice to you would be hit the link in the description box below, get signed up, and get one of those seats. All right. With that said, stay tuned while we get into your 12-month tarot breakdown. Hello, you wonderful Life Path 2 person. Welcome to your 12-month tarot breakdown. So let's get straight into it. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So you've already had your life sector overview, so you've got an idea of how this year is likely to unfold for you. So let's get straight into it. For your first card out, remember this one it typifies the year that you're going to have. So even if it's a challenging card, I always say to people, don't let that stress you out. It just means that that's something extra that you kind of need to pay attention to. Yours this year is the Empress. All right, so this means that this year is likely to be all about a glow up, all about some kind of shift or change in your material experience, in your financial experience. It also means that your environmental experience is going to be a big focus this year, whether this is your living situation, where you live, how you live there, all of that kind of stuff. It might be as well that this year, maybe, just maybe, you're using the year's energy in the way that it's supposed to be used. Remember, the Empress is the fertile soil that we sow our seeds in. And so this year, you might be sowing seeds of change. You might be starting new things. You might be sowing seeds for the future, maybe setting plans into motion that you know are going to take a long time to unfold. All of these things could be a focus for you in January. And to clarify on this, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is usually an earth sign woman, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. She could feature for you very strongly. And because the Empress is Venus, it's very likely that she's going to be a Taurus woman. All right. So whoever this person is, January, this person could be a big feature for you. They could be playing a really supportive or powerful role. Now, another way that you could see this is you are really focusing on your physical health and vitality, your body, your outlook, how you move through the world. There's a big focus on this month. I really think a lot of the Life Path 2 people also are going to go through a glow up this year. I say that because the Life Path 1s are definitely going through one. I love this. Now, as we come into on the 26th of January, also worth mentioning, Neptune comes back into the sign of Aries. This is a pretty big deal. As we come into February, February is a packed astrological month. Now, if you want to find out how all of this is going to affect your sign, go and check out your yearly Astro Tarot videos. Those are up and out there for your viewing pleasure. And so for this month, on February the 14th, Saturn also comes back into the sign of Aries. As if that wasn't enough, on the 24th of the month, we have Mercury going retrograde. Sorry, 26th of the month, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Pisces through till March the 20th. As if that wasn't enough, we have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius, the first one in this new axis. And as if all of that wasn't enough, we also have on February the 20th, the official Saturn and Neptune conjunction, the real stuff, right? So it's going to be a pretty packed month. It's going to be a pretty intense month. For this, you have the Wheel of Fortune, but it looks like that, if fortune favors the bold, and if you are willing to ride these intense energies and to take some calculated risks, or at least allow the universe to put you where you're supposed to be, you could sail through this one really, really well. You've got this with the Temperance card. That's a lot of Sagittarius energy there. All right. So this is a month that could really be very buoyant, very light, even with the intensity of the astrology. I would also say, for a lot of you, maybe you're doing some kind of travel or some kind of interaction with what would be considered a very spiritual space or group of people. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that a lot of you are taking some kind of retreat. I also wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are starting to see things that you've been trying to manifest really show up for you, right? I don't know if anybody just saw that. I thought it was like a light or something, but I swear I just saw an orb over there. Um, okay, whatever that might be. For March, on March the 3rd, we've got the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. If you want to know what that means, all of the lunations are up and out there, so check it out. For this, you have the World card. So the World card is a completion point, right? This is where something really culminates and comes full circle. It's a promotion type energy. This is you stepping into a position of authority kind of energy. It also represents, because remember with the World card, this can be like, it's a very Saturnian energy, and coupled with the Emperor, there's a feel here that you really are commanding authority or even your own space. Maybe some arena or sector that you're a part of, you're starting to really become an authority in that area. If you are studying or in some form of education, this could be that you're absolutely smashing your studies or you finish with honors in some way. For others, I actually feel like this might be a program of some sort that comes to an end that you are really satisfied with. You're like, you know what? That was probably one of the best things that I've ever done. And it's like you're seeing yourself so much clearer, so much more powerful for having finished or completed this thing. It's like you're really focused, you're really determined, and you feel more in control or more in command of yourself than maybe you have for a really long time. I would also say where you've been interacting with legal institutions or over legal matters, this could be a satisfactory conclusion to something like that. On April the 22nd, we have Uranus moving into the sign of Gemini. It's coming back into Gemini. We had a taster of this in 2025. Now it's going to be there for the next 6 years. So buckle up, because you're getting a really good taste of what this is going to be like, and it's going to be unfolding over the next 6 years. I think Uranus in Gemini is going to be much kinder to us than Uranus in Taurus was, because their energies are so fundamentally different. For April, you've got the Tower card. So it's going to be disruptive for you, right? There is a little bit of upheave here. And you've got this with the King of Cups, usually a water sign male, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. April could be a month where, if you listen to your intuitive faculty, you might be able to sidestep some challenge in work, business, profession, or career. However, there are likely to be instabilities or insecurities in that space, and you will need to ride it out. I will also say as well, when it comes to where you're working with or connecting or collaborating with somebody who happens to be a water sign male, just be extra careful, because they could really surprise you with something that you kind of don't see coming. Now, let me tell you about the 2026 compass. This year, I knew I was going to have to do things differently. So what I created was the 2026 compass, and I put out all of the Astro Tarot videos for complete free this year, and I did that for a very specific reason. The universe told me you have to be of more service this year, Raf, and that's what I intend to do. I've got 30 spaces on the compass, and so what you're going to get is a 12-month tarot reading like this, where I'm going to read specifically for you. On top of that, you get a PDF printable booklet where I'm going to give you insights into your specific chart. I'm going to give you insights into your specific numerology. And as if all of that wasn't enough, in December, we then have a 3-hour session where we're going to sit down together. We're going to use your tarot, astrology, and numerology to build you a bespoke plan to navigate the changeable year that is 2026. You also get a free seat on the winter solstice in 2025 in terms of the energetics and the energy alignment. Trust me, that is, that in itself is going to be awesome. And you get a payment plan. So you sign up. On sign up, you pay your first installment. November, you pay your second installment. By the time we get to December, you've already paid up. No worries about financial stress in December or even in January. And then on top of that, you also, by the time you get to January, you're stepping into the new year with a plan. So you know exactly what to do, what to execute, and when. And the beauty of this is it's co-created with you, with me, and the universe, because we're using your correspondences. That being said, I only have 30 spaces. Imagine how much time and effort I put into these. Imagine how much more time and effort are going into those 30 people. If you want to be one of them and you don't want to be disappointed, I only have 30 spaces, and doors close October 31st. Get yours in the link in the description box below. If you think, Raf, it sounds really amazing, but it's just beyond my reach at the moment, I've got other sessions for you. Links for those are in the description as well. For May, you have the Chariot card. So May is going to be a fast, dynamic, changeable month that's likely coming with a lot of Fast and Furious. It's going to see a lot of you traveling overseas or abroad. So that could be a lot of fun. That Three of Wands is also about sort of, looking outside of the box or looking further afield. But when it's coupled with the Chariot card, what I have noticed is, because the Three of Wands is very entrepreneurial, what I have noticed about this combination is usually when this shows up, somebody is taking what I call like an exploratory trip. So you're going somewhere, but you're going to that place to see either what it's like to live there, maybe to source a product so that you can sell that product elsewhere in the world. It's like you're doing this travel so that you can see how it unfolds in some regard. I love this for you, right? So definitely a month of travel and enjoyment, but also I will say to you, if you have an idea or a concept that comes to you in May, don't sit on it. Just launch the damn thing as soon as you possibly can. Get it out there. As we come into June, we've got the second Mercury retrograde of the year. It's a Mercury retrograde that starts on the 29th of June, goes all the way through to the 23rd of July. and that's in the sign of Cancer. We've also got Chiron coming into the sign of Taurus. This is a big deal for the entire world, and it's likely to come with some kind of disruption to supply lines for food, potentially because Taurus is a money sign. It represents food, it represents agriculture, it represents values and possessions. There might be some insecurity and instability around these things. So if you know this, what I've said to all of the signs, all of the life path numbers, use the first 5 months of the year to plan for a rocky June, potentially some of July. When you understand how that's going to hit you, you know, right? So if you watch your astro tarot, you know what area of life it's going to unfold for you, so that you can plan even better. Now, for this, you've got the moon card. Makes sense. There's a little bit of confusion around at this time. You're probably a lot more reflective than usual. You've got this with the Knight of Wands. You might actually still be abroad when whatever it is that hits. So you might not be home at the time. You might be thinking like, oh, and what I will say is if you're traveling in June, do expect things like delays, do expect things like potentially, touch wood, getting stranded. Um, Again, now that you know that, and this is what I say to everybody, the whole point of divinatory and predictive arts is that now you know it's coming, you can plan accordingly, right? If you know you're having to travel in June or you're already abroad, instead of looking at just one way to get home, look at several, look at multiple ones, and know where your exits are. Do you know what I mean? As we come into July, whether it's the 30th of June or the 1st of July, depends on where you are in the world, etc. Jupiter comes into the sign of Leo. This is a big deal for everybody. It's a once in 12-year transit. How many times is this going to happen in your life? 8 or 9, give or take, depending how lucky you are, right? Okay, now for this, we also have in July the nodal shift. So the south node is going to move into Leo, north node is going to move into Aquarius. For this, you've got the Temperance card. Take it all in stride. All right, July is a month to just take it easy, work through it as much as you possibly can. You've got this with the Devil card. July, I'm gonna say watch out for sickness, watch out for, being poorly. And also, if there's something that's going around at this time, this would be a good time to fortify your defenses, i.e., your immune system, but also your environment, right? So, whatever that looks like. Another way that you could see this as well, watch out for spiritual bypassing, watch out for cult like behavior, be careful around certain types of religions and spiritualities, new age philosophy and stuff. Something could go a little too far here, and you could be a bit like, yeah, okay, this doesn't feel good to me anymore, or at all, right? As we come into October, as we come into August, we've got the second eclipse season of the year. So we've got on the 12th of the month, we've got the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. On the 28th of the month, we've got the final full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. That's the last one, right? Certainly for the next 8-9 years. Now, for August, you have the Hanged Man. Again, July and August, you're really wanting to take it easy. In fact, June through August are times that I want you to really take your time with everything that you're doing. August, however, will be very good for creative ideas and endeavors, taking them out of the realm of concept and into the realm of actuality. What I love about this is anywhere that you're doing things like radio, TV, film, in particular things like a YouTube channel, especially ones that are centered on or created around art, creativity, music, all of that kind of stuff is really highly favored for August. And you might find that your own creative spark is that much more powerful in this month. Remember, there are only 30 spaces on the compass. You can get that on the link in the description box below. It would be my pleasure to serve you in this way. Get them, right? Because they're going to go. I know they're going to go. And my mailing list already have first dibs. mailing lists get first dibs on everything that I bring out. So if you want to get yours, if you want to get those heads up to all the new things that I'm bringing to the world, always get onto that mailing list. As we come into September, you have the Magician card. So this could be a month of really big, important conversations. You've got this with the Seven of Swords. My biggest piece of advice that I can give you for September: be really careful about what is promised. Be really careful about what you offer to deliver. This is a month to under promise and over deliver, not the other way round. I would check and fact check and verify every piece of information that's given to you, especially stuff that's important in September. Get a second opinion on something, because that Seven of Swords, with the first of all, the Magician card in its unconscious guise could be, it can be Loki, right? It can be the trickster. It can be the Mercury retrograde, which happens in October, by the way. It can also be where the information that you're getting is not quite on par. You've got this with the Seven of Swords, which is literal lies and deceit, where you're interacting with power players, authority figures, etc. Something's not quite adding up here. Listen to your spidey senses in September. As we come into October, on the 3rd of the month, Venus goes retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, comes back into the sign of Libra, goes direct on the 14th of November. Mercury goes retrograde on the 24th of October and goes direct on the 13th of November. So 2 personal planets retrograde at the same time. It's a lot. For this, you've got the Justice card. Now, one way that this potentially shows up with such a concentration on Scorpio energy, some secret could come to light, right? Something unravels, something is shared with you, you get to see something, someone is caught with their pants down, right? In some regard. Now, because it's the Justice card, justice could be served, but I will also say, because this is a contracts and commitment card, you want to be careful around those things. Now, when it comes to this, to clarify, you've got the Death card. Yeah, this is going to be a deal breaker. I'm really sorry to say, Life Path 2, but whatever comes to light at this time, once it does, this will be you saying, I'm out. Now that I know this, worst case scenario, something like somebody has cheated from you, somebody stole from you. Let's say you have a contract with somebody and, they've been siphoning off extra funds and not talking about it. Whatever it is, October will be a deal breaker. This will be where you're like, yeah, you know what, fuck that, I'm out. I'm not having that. I'm not putting up with it. And such is your right. And I really hope I'm wrong on this front, but yeah, that's going to be a deal breaker. As we come into November, you have the Judgment card. So something's coming really, full cycle. And to clarify on this, you've got the Six of Pentacles. I've seen this before when people are divesting interests, separating out estates, dividing marital assets. All of that stuff could be possible here. Another way that it could show up, though, on a more positive level, this could be help and support that comes into you because of all of your stored good karma. So this could be financial help and support. It could be literal help and support. However it unfolds, you could be getting some kind of really wonderful supportive energy that comes in where someone says, I've got your back. And this might be somebody that you haven't seen in a while, right? Like, that's very possible here as well. I actually like November. I think whatever happens in September and October to knock your faith and trust in people, whatever happens in November will absolutely restore it. And it will remind you, like, okay, yes, this sucks and it's shit, or this person is a piece of trash, but actually, you know what? There's still good people in the world and there's still good people in my life. For December, you have the Strength card, so finishing literally strong, being reminded that you are so. You've got this with the Seven of Pentacles. So whatever you've set into motion, in particular around August, whatever has been initiated, like the breaking of, it's like December could see you literally waiting for a payout. Jupiter goes retrograde on the 13th of December. So if there is a delay in this, it might not come through until the new year. Don't panic about this. It's just a delay. It's not like a forever thing. Now, your challenge month of the year, April, challenge month, absolutely. I think June is going to be a challenge month. I think July, September, and October are also challenge months. Um, for sure, right? Your power months, however, January, February, March, power months. I love May for you. I think August is probably neutral. I love November for you. And I think December is, again, more neutral. Your human design oracle deck message is the gate 10 and empower. And the message behind this card is the more you empower yourself, the more you empower others to do the same for themselves. This is really a year where you're starting to really understand who you are and come into what your personal power is, what your own gifts are going to start to become really evident to you over the course of this year. So, whether you come back every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, I love that you guys comment. I love that you guys share how this unfolds for you. Or you come, like sometimes I'll get someone in October or November and they'll be like, I watched this. This is exactly how my year went. How did you know this? Like, and I love that. Some people come back and say, oh, it wasn't really totally on for me. I do what I can. Either which way, it really warms my heart that these are serving you guys throughout the year and that you watch them. It really does mean a lot to me. So thank you for that. If you want to get your personal session with me, you know what to do. If you want to get your compass seat, get to it as quick as possible because I know that they're going to go this year. Well, I say this year, it's the first year I've ever done anything like this. So I'm really looking forward to it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic 2026. Take care and I'll see you soon.